right, hey guys, this is Dr. Edwards, and I'm very excited that you've made it to this point in the semester. So we are going to go ahead and get started with the midterm for intercultural communication. The first thing that I want to do is to emphasize, please look over the PowerPoint presentations and the articles shared throughout the semester. They're on your syllabus, but just become very familiar with them. We've examined those every single week. And so we will go over everything from week 1 until the current week. So during week 1, we actually looked at the World Bank Introduction to Intercultural Communication, and then we also did the weekly PowerPoint. So from those items, you need to look at them, but also look at the following, or be able to do the following. So know the two types of group identity, and those are actually from your weekly PowerPoint. And then know the definition of ethnocentrism. So basically with ethnocentrism is thinking that the world should think like you think and act like you act and do as you do, but sometimes that is not the case. Many times that is not the case. So what is ethnocentrism and what are the steps of ethnocentrism? Also be able to tell me the difference between collectivism and also individualism. I do want to emphasize that your test is a hybrid between actual fill-in-the-blank questions as well as multiple choice questions, so be prepared for that. Also know the difference between e pluribus unum, which is based in the US, you'll see it on the back of many of your coins, and e pluribus pluribum, which is very, very evident in countries like India, which the e pluribus unum is out of many one, and then e pluribus pluribum actually means out of many, many. So what that difference actually is when it comes to culture, and think about like the US versus other countries. Also know about the 4 elements of culture. They are on your PowerPoint, as well as be able to tell me the difference between a subculture and also a co-culture and a subgroup. So what is the difference between both of those? Be able to give examples as well. And also be able to tell me what is wannabe behavior, because we talked about that as well. Also, understanding cross-cultural communication and what is culture. Those are 2 resources from this one's from Penn State, and this one is from the Department of State. I was very excited about the Department of State resources this semester. So also be able to let me know what a culture is and how to recognize those cultures, and be able to give me examples as well. Also, there's a video, our weekly video is attached as well, defining communication as an element of culture, and be able to do the following. Show me that you know the 4 intercultural competence skill areas, and those are on your PowerPoint. Know the 3 types of cultural awareness, and also be able to tell me the difference between communication context, international, global, cross-cultural, and also intercultural. We also examined the dimensions of culture this semester, which are always very exciting, and these are also from the Department of State. And just so you know, when you go out of the country or when you get your lovely passport, the Department of State actually is a resource that you should know about, because it enables you to go out of the country with the knowledge that you need to do well and communicate effectively with other cultures, and to know the general do's and don'ts. And also it's a very good resource whenever you go to a different country, because sometimes there are occurrences that happen outside of the country that people from, we'll just say, the United States need to know about before you go there, so that you're not subjected to certain things. And so I'll just put it that way. And so it's important to know the country that you're going to, and to be able to go to that country's website on the Department of State website to know the do's and don'ts of that culture, and which areas to avoid and which areas to frequent. Okay, so also the video for week 4 is attached there as well, and week 3 actually is attached there as well. And be able to let me know what meta messages are. Tell me what a communication probe is and why probes are essential and very beneficial in intercultural communication. And then be able to tell me the 6 barriers of intercultural communication, and apply Semmel's uncertainty reduction theory, or URT, to an example. And if you need help with any of these, please let me know. Also, week 5 is Intercultural Communication 101 and the CIA flags of the world, and be able to do the following. What are the communication similarities between children who are born deaf and also children who are not? And what are the functions of nonverbal communication? And what are the non-nonverbal communication codes? And why is it important to know which gifts to give and which gifts not to give when communicating with someone of another country? And also, last but not least, be able to tell me why and how emotional intelligence does not translate when you cross one border to the next. Why is EI or emotional intelligence important to know that you need to vary it up according to the culture that you are visiting? And then last but not least, we have week 6, which we're focused on the American values, and also this is another resource from the department or from the Peace Corps. One is the Department of State and one is the Peace Corps, but be able to let me know that you are familiar with both of these articles. Such great resources. If you're not familiar with the Peace Corps, before this class, hopefully you are now, and then also be able to let me know about the Mango Cellar. But that, for the most part, is it. I will also emphasize these 2 things. Be able to tell me the 4 intercultural competence skill areas, which are listed above in week 1 or week 2, but also be able to let me know that you know Shannon Starosa's 3 areas of intercultural communication competence: intercultural awareness, intercultural adroitness, and also intercultural sensitivity. So be able to tell me those as well. And also with the 6 barriers of intercultural communication, just let me know examples of those as well. But yes, it will be on campus, yes, and you will have 4 days to complete your exam, and I'm excited. But let me know any questions that you have, and I'll be happy to send the answers to the entire class because everyone can benefit from the response. And that's it. I'm excited that you're in class this semester. Don't forget, the items that you learn this semester will help you throughout your life. So be excited that you will be prepared to communicate with a variety of cultures, no matter if you're visiting them today or even 50 years in the future. All right, guys. Hey, you guys, I hope you're more prepared for your midterm exam. Again, if you have any questions, please let me know, and I will be happy to answer your questions. All right, guys, you've got this. You can do this. Let's conquer the intercultural communication exam.